everyone, my name is Manika Majumdar and I am working as an assistant professor for the Department of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics at Milagros College. Today's our topic of discussion is proteins. Proteins are the most abundant organic biomolecules in the living system. It is mainly composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. It also contains phosphorus, iron, copper, magnesium and iodine. Now let us see what are proteins. Proteins are the polymer or chain of amino acid bonded with peptide bond. As you can see in the picture, it is a polymer of some beads. Let us consider this bead as an amino acids. So if you see here, these three beads, here one bead is considered as one amino acids. So these beads or these amino acids are bonded by bonds that is called as peptide bonds. So this whole chain, which is made up of amino acid and the bonds which are present and which connect these amino acids, these are called as peptide bonds. Now this protein, upon hydrolysis with concentrated HCl for long duration of time, yields alpha amino acids. Now this protein's biosynthesis, it is mainly takes place at translation process and after that it matures at post-translation processes. Now let us see what are the functions of proteins in our body. Now protein has many functions. Proteins are considered as structural protein because it gives structure to cell membranes, to some cell organelles. Sometimes some of the proteins they act as a receptor which are present on the membrane. Examples like rhodopsin. Some of the proteins are contractile proteins like actin, myosins, which helps in the contraction of muscle fiber. Some of the hormones in our body are also proteinaceous in nature, like insulin. Proteins are also help in giving us protection because the antibody which fight against any foreign particles which enter into our body, that is immunoglobulin. So immunoglobulin or antibody, they are protein in nature. Hemoglobin is another example of a protein whose function is transport of oxygen. We have several enzymes which undergo various chemical reactions, which participated in various chemical reactions. So most of the enzymes, they are protein in nature. Examples like Rubisco and other enzymes. Proteins are also considered as a storage, like some of the proteins they act as a storage proteins, like in case of ferritin. Ferritin is a storage protein which store iron in liver cells and in the spleen. So these are the various several and very important functions or role of proteins in our body. In the previous slide we have learned that proteins they are made up of amino acid. Now let us see what is this amino acids. Amino acids are the building of blocks of proteins, and each amino acid it is composed of a central carbon atom. As you can see in the slide, this is the central carbon atom, which is called as C alpha carbon, and an amino group NH2 group, which is bonded with the alpha carbon atom. A carboxyl group is also bonded with the alpha carbon atom. Amino acid also has a hydrogen atom, which is bonded with alpha carbon atom, and there is a side chain which is designated as R. So R here is the side chain, which is also bonded with C alpha. So this is a basic structure of amino acid. It has C alpha carbon, with which there are several other groups are attached. Amino group, which is NH2 group, carboxylic acid group, that is COOH group, hydrogen atom, and R group, which is the side chain. Now this basic structure is same for all amino acids. So in our nature, there are 300 amino acids exist. Now out of which only 20 amino acids are present in our body. Now those 20 amino acids are used to make proteins in our body. So all those 20 amino acids, they differ from each other only in the R. Other structure, other groups are same. Only the differences in the amino acid is there in the R group, in the side chain, which makes them different from each other. Now let us see a classification of amino acid. Classification of amino acid, when we talk about it, amino acids are classified in various ways. First, let us see on the basis of chemical structure. The classification on the basis of chemical structure. First group is aliphatic amino acids. Aliphatic amino acids, these are the amino acids which are having hydrophobic R group, that is the hydrophobic side chain. So what is hydrophobic? Hydrophobic means it's a group which contains carbon and hydrogen. And this hydrophobic group, they don't like water. They don't make any bonds with the water. So they always away from the solvent, that's water molecule. So here aliphatic amino acid, it can be divided into two groups. One is branch chain amino acid and non-branch chain amino acids. So here is some examples of non-branch chain amino acid. These are like glycine and alanine. So as you can see, here this H is the R group of glycine. So here the R group of glycine is H hydrogen atom. And this glycine is also designated in 3-letter code and 1-letter code also. So 3-letter code of glycine is GLY, gly, and 1-letter code is G. Alanine, as you can see, the R group here is CH3. And this is which is attached to the C alpha carbon, and C alpha carbon has other group also like NH3 plus and CO minus and hydrogen. So here 3-letter code of alanine is ALA and 1-letter code is A. Now as you can see, the C alpha, it is bonded with two hydrogen, which makes this glycine amino acid achiral, that is symmetric. So we all are aware of that chiral and achiral. Chiral means when a carbon atom, central carbon atom, is attached with four different groups, which makes the carbon asymmetric. So that is called as chiral. But in case of glycine, the carbon is bonded with not four different groups. Here two hydrogen are same. So it is the amino acid, it is the only amino acid which is achiral, and rest of the other amino acid, they are chiral. As you can see in case of alanine, here C alpha carbon is attached with four different groups. Now this amino acid, as they are hydrophobic, non-polar amino acid, that means their side chain, they can make association or they make a hydrophobic bonds with themselves or some other molecule. Next is branch chain amino acid. Now why they are called branch chain amino acid? It is all dependent on the R group. Here the R group is branched. As you can see, there are three amino acids which are called as branch chain amino acid. These are like valine, isoleucine and leucine. So here you can see valine in three letter code is VAL, val, and one letter code is V. Here this is the R group, this is the C alpha and this is C beta. Now 2-methyl group is attached with the C beta. Isoleucine, 3-letter code is ILE and 1-letter code is I. In this case, this is the R group which is also a branched. Here, 1-methyl group is attached with the C beta and 1-ethyl group is attached with C beta. Leucine, the 3-letter code is LEU and 1-letter code is L. In this case, the R group is CH2, CH, CH3, CH3. Here, the 2-methyl group are attached to the gamma carbon, C gamma. So these also are hydrophobic amino acid, that is non-polar amino acid. So they always make a hydrophobic bond with among themselves or some other hydrophobic molecules. Now let us move on to the aromatic amino acid. Aromatic amino acid, because why they are called so? Because their R group contain phenyl group or indole group. So here there are three amino acids which are aromatic: phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. Phenylalanine 3-letter word code is PHE and 1-letter code is F. So as you can see, this is the R group where CH2 is there and phenyl group. Tyrosine, it is 3-letter code is TYR and 1-letter code is Y. Here, this is the R group. Now as you can see, phenylalanine R group and the tyrosine R group are same. But only one difference. In tyrosine there is one additional hydroxyl group attached to the phenyl group. Now because of this hydroxyl group, because of the presence of this hydroxyl group, it makes the tyrosine a polar amino acid. That means they can make hydrogen bond with the water molecule and among themselves. But whereas phenylalanine, they are considered as a hydrophobic aromatic amino acid. Tryptophan, their three-letter code is TRP and one-letter code is W. This is the R group of the tryptophan, which is also make hydrophobic bonds with other molecule, and they are considered as a non-polar amino acid. So all the aromatic amino acid, they are considered as a non-polar except the tyrosine, which is only a polar amino acid. Next, sulfur containing amino acid. That means this kind of amino acid, they contain sulfhydryl group like cysteine and methionine. The three-letter code of cysteine is CYS and one-letter code is C. So as you can see, this is the R group, CH2SH. Methionine, it is a three-letter code is MET, MET, and one-letter code is N. And the R group is CH2CH2S, CH3. Next, move on to the hydroxyl amino acids. So these are the amino acids which is having hydroxyl group in their side chain. So these amino acids are serine, threonine and tyrosine. Tyrosine, which we studied in aromatic amino acid group. So here serine's three-letter code is SER and one-letter code is S. As you can see, there is a hydroxyl group at R side chain CH2OH. So there is a hydroxyl group which makes the serine as a polar amino acid, as these hydroxyl group can participate in a hydrogen bond with water molecules. Next is threonine, three-letter code is THR and one-letter code is T. Here also the R group contain hydroxyl group, which makes it polar amino acid, and tyrosine, which is also contain hydroxyl group. So as they contain the hydroxyl group in their R side chain, so they are called as hydroxyl amino acid. Now let's move on to the next group, that is charged amino acid. It means these are the amino acid which whose side chains are charged. It can be positively charged or can be negatively charged. So on the basis of positively and negatively charged, they are divided into acidic amino acid and basic amino acid. Acidic amino acid are the amino acids which contains negatively charged group on their side chain. Now let us see, there are two examples, aspartic acid and glutamic acid. So this is the structure of aspartic acid. Three-letter code is ASP and one-letter code is D. So this is the R group, that is the side chain, which contains CH2 and COO minus. So it has one carboxylic acid group, which makes the amino acid a negatively charged. As a result, they are called as acidic amino acid. Glutamic acid, three-letter code is GLU and one-letter code is E, and their R group contains CH2, CH2, COO minus. So again, these carboxylic acid groups make it an acidic amino acid. Next is basic amino acid. That means their R group contains positively charged group like lysine, arginine and histidine. So as you can see, this is the structure of lysine. Lysine's three-letter code is LYS and one-letter code is K. So this is the R group. It's quite a long R group, CH2 thrice. It is present, CH2 NH3 plus. So it is also called as a diamino monocarboxylic acid. So as the lysine contains positively charged group on their side chain, so that is why it's called as basic amino acid. Arginine, which is contain guanidinium group, and having an R group in the R group, that is CH2 bracket 2 CH2 NH, C double bond NH and NH3 plus. Now again there is a positively charged, so make it a basic amino acid. Histidine, its 3-letter code is HIS and 1-letter code is H, and on the side chain there is an imidazole ring. It also contains a positively charged on the side chain, so it is also considered as a basic amino acid. So this acidic and basic amino acid, as their R group are charged, can be positive or negative charge. So this kind of amino acid, they are involved in a ionic or electrostatic bonds with other molecules. Amino acid with amide group. Now there are two amino acids called asparagine and glutamine. These are the amino acid with amide group of acidic amino acids. These are the amide of acidic amino acid like aspartic acid, which is an acidic amino group. Now when aspartic acid is with amide group, so this is the amide group. When it is with amide group, then it's called as asparagine. 3-letter code is ASN and 1-letter code is N. Glutamine, it is the amide group of acidic amino acid called glutamic acid. Its 1-letter code is Q and 3-letter code is GLN. So our group here is CH2, CH2, C, NH2 and CO. So this is the amide group. And the last one is amino acid, which is proline. Now proline's 3-letter code is PRO and 1-letter code is P. So as you can see, in case of proline, their R group contains amino group. So that is why they are considered as a amino acid. So here R group, they are joined with the basic structure. So this is the C alpha, COO minus, H, NH2 plus. And this, as their R group is attached with their basic structure, so which makes it unique amino acid. And this proline, they are mainly found in collagen, prolamines, etc. So this is the end of today's lecture. Thank you.